Okay, so if you have not done it already, you have to start getting your money out of your bank. Let's talk about it. This is the Hey Ed YouTube channel. I am your host, moderator, and all-around nice guy, Edward Anderson. Now, many times on my channel here, I have been, preaching to you about the importance of getting your money out of the bank. Maybe not all of it, but the vast majority of it. You're not going to hear about this in the mainstream media, but I'm here to tell you that the banks are in trouble. And when the next financial crisis hits, you're not going to have time to get your money out of your bank. You have to do it now. Okay, listen, I get it. When I do these types of videos, the viewership on my channel goes down dramatically. I mean, maybe you think it's a boring topic or something. And listen, I'm not a massive, YouTube channel. I've got a very nice little following of loyal people, and I'm very grateful to every one of you. But, I'm a modest-sized channel. I don't know the tricks of the trade in promoting, YouTube videos. I'm not a professional YouTuber. But on topics like this, I do know what I'm talking about. And I hope that you're starting to be proactive in protecting your wealth, in protecting your assets, and in growing your assets. I mean, the mantra on my channel is reduce your exposure to your bank, buy some gold and silver, and establish streams of passive recurring income. Now, there's a reason why today I'm emphasizing getting your money out of your bank. So there was a recent article out of Zero Hedge that kind of illustrates what's going on right now and one of the dangers in the financial industry. Out of Zero Hedge, credit card debt surges to new all-time high, just as card APR rates hit fresh record. Just when you thought U.S. consumers had finally learned their lesson and had stopped buying stuff that they can't afford with money they don't have, we got the latest consumer credit card data, which collapsed that particular thesis in a millisecond. Okay, so without going into the entire article, let me give you the gist of it. People are hurting. People are not able to keep up with their monthly expenses. So they're resorting to their credit cards just to meet their monthly needs. So credit card usage is at an all-time high. And so are the credit card rates. Now, people don't turn to the credit cards to buy groceries unless it's a last resort. And that's where we're at right now. So credit card balances are at an all-time high at the same time that the APRs are at all-time highs. That is not a healthy mix. So it is not a very huge leap of logic to predict that there is going to be a big increase in credit card delinquencies. It is coming. And those banks, they have one of two choices. They can either go after the consumers, sue them and try to get money out of them. Look, that's like getting, blood out of a stone, right? More than likely, they're going to write it off. And then they're going to turn to the government for bailouts. So the balance sheets at these banks who are issuing all these credit cards, they're going to really take it on the chin. So between that and the commercial real estate debacle that is pending, because nobody's using office space anymore, no one's going into the office to do their work anymore. There's going to be a commercial real estate crisis pending really soon as well. So listen, more banks are going to go out of business. I promise you that. And any money you are sitting in your bank is at risk. And don't talk to me about your FDIC insurance, because that is woefully inadequate. I've done videos before how much of a scam that is. The government is not going to be there to help you. You have to take care of yourself. Listen, there is going to be another financial crisis, and it's going to make the financial crisis of 2008 to 2010 look like a picnic. Inflation is just going to continue to get worse and worse and worse. And tax receipts are going down dramatically because nobody's making the money they used to make. And one of the tried and true, tricks up their sleeve that the government uses, to put Band-Aids on this big old gaping wound is to print money. U.S. debt is rising by $1 trillion every 3 months. And U.S. interest expense is rising by $100 billion every 4 months. So every 4 months, the government is paying $100 billion just to service the debt. And personally, I believe that we are going to be increasing our national debt by $1 trillion per month by the end of this year. $1 trillion per month. This is unsustainable. The government is out of solutions, okay? They're just kicking the proverbial can down the road. And at some point, there's going to be a price to pay, and it's going to be really ugly. I can't tell you exactly when that day is going to come. I think it's going to be sooner rather than later. And when it happens, it's going to happen all of a sudden. It's going to happen fast. You're not going to have time to get your money out of your bank. You're going to run to your bank to get your money out, and it's going to be too late. The doors are going to be locked. That's why I'm telling you, you got to get your money out of your bank right now. Remember, the reason why the market has been strong lately is because of the game that's being played on Wall Street. Wall Street likes free money, right? It likes lower interest rates. So that's why the market has been going up, because the Fed has been making noises about cutting interest rates. Well, recently, the Federal Reserve is starting to change its mind. The Federal Reserve changes its mind. It changes this message about every 2 or 3 months. And right now, the Federal Reserve is saying, yeah, we're not quite sure. We need more data before we actually do anything. Okay, so step number one is to get your physical money out of your bank. Now, you got to keep something in the bank, to pay bills and stuff, right? Personally, I keep 2 or 3 months worth of bill paying in the bank. That's it. Everything else, I get the hell out. So that's step number one. So if you have some cash in hand, okay, that's good. That's a good start. But that money, that cash, is a depreciating asset. It's losing you money because that's what inflation is, right? It reduces your buying power. Fiat currencies, in our case in America, it's your dollar bills. They lose value on a regular basis every single day. So the next thing you have to do is take some of that cash and put it into these guys. Put it into gold and silver. That's going to preserve your buying power. That's going to stop your bleeding. And in the next financial crisis, I think not only are you going to preserve your buying power, but I think these things are going to actually rally and actually make you a lot of money. So by putting some of your money into gold and silver, you accomplish 2 things at the same time. First, you preserve your buying power. And second, you actually make some money. And keeping an eye on the performance of gold and silver is a really good clue about the actual health of the economy. That's why we've seen gold and silver starting to break out. Gold is making a fresh new high. I mean, just take a look at the chart of gold over the past few months, particularly over this past week. It is exploding, and I think it is just beginning. Okay, so gold is a must-have. And then you have your silver. Silver is starting to break out, and I think it's going to make a run to the 48 or 50 level, pretty darn quickly. I mean, silver could be in the triple digits by the end of the year. I mean, in addition to just the precious metal element of silver, the production of silver has actually plummeted. Remember, silver is used in any kind of manufacturing you can imagine. Now, the most obvious example is solar panels, right? And we know how popular solar panels are right now, right? Well, there's silver in every single solar panel. So the industrial demand for silver is huge. And as the demand for silver goes up and the production of silver goes down, I mean, come on, you know how this works. Now, although the federal government is very bad with money, these people have no respect for money. There are some states that are starting to be, they're looking at what's going on in Washington, and they're starting to take their own measures to protect their own money. Recently, the state of Utah, for example, they had just announced that they gave the treasurer permission to start protecting their funds with gold and silver. Now, they've joined other states, off the top of my head, I know that Tennessee has done it, Florida has done it, Texas has done it. Basically, your red states, people who have conservative bent, they're being more responsible with your money. And they're looking at gold and silver as a way to preserve at least some of the state's money. And let me throw in one last little unfun fact for you regarding the financial system. Most of you have probably seen the movie, in The Big Short. So you know what the general cause was of the financial crisis in 2008 to 2010. And that were, the derivatives market. But we actually have more exposure to those exact same derivatives today as we did back then. These people have not learned their lessons. It's all about greed. There's more than 1 quadrillion worth of exposure globally to these instruments. And these instruments have an inverse relationship to interest rates. The Federal Reserve's mandate is to fight inflation, and the primary tool for fighting inflation is to raise interest rates. Listen, the smart money people, they have no interest in preserving fiat currencies. They want to push you into a new system. We have a new system coming up that's going to be forced upon us. And so the next financial crisis is not going to be seen as a disaster for them. For them, it's going to be a mechanism. For them, it's going to be a way of transitioning us into a brand new kind of financial system. And we all know about the CBDCs that they want to force down our throats. And the 3 things that everyone should be doing right now is reduce your exposure to your bank, put some of your money into gold and silver, and establish streams of passive recurring income. in the comment section below, I would love to hear from some of you. Have any of you started to reduce your exposure to your banks? Have any of you started to acquire gold and silver? And have any of you established any passive income streams? Please like and subscribe. Ed Anderson, live from Minnesota, signing out.
Copy that.